Even though Chief Keef is from O Block, he has a love-hate relationship with the people there. Oh yeah, and by the way, when I say someone's from O Block, I don't literally mean they live in Parkway Gardens, aka the apartment complex they call O Block. Chief Keef is really more Front Street than anything, and Lil Durk is more 300. But these sets and much more are all black disciples that are all clicked up, so to us, it's really interchangeable. And for the sake of this video, I'ma generalize all of them as O Block, but they each have their own little things. Like Lil Durk has OTF and Chief Keef has GB/Glow Gang. And I'ma focus on Durk and Keef mainly in this video, cause they're really the face of this beef. But Chief Keef got a love-hate relationship with O Block. When he first came on the scene, he was repping it to the fullest and even brought them all out to a show. When Keef was on the come up, he would hang out on O Block. But the last time we seen him there was when Boss Top and Lil Durk were filming their 30 Choppers music video in May 2013. Hey, keep that Boss Top name in mind, he gonna be important later in the story. But we got a cameo from Chief Sosa in this video. And from what we know, he hasn't gone back since. But what caused their relationship to go sour? Well, there's two reasons why he doesn't go back. There's the street politics and there's the legal reasons, which I'm gonna focus on in part 2. So if you wanna know how Chief Keef became a fugitive in the state of Illinois, make sure you hit that sub button so you don't miss it. But for the beef reason, a lot of people think it came from him not paying Lil Durk's bond. But the issue started before Durk got locked up, when he refused to pay bond for another old blockie named Trey 5. And we know it was Trey 5's and not Lil Durk's, because Durk's bond was only $10,000. But when King Von spoke on the situation, he talked about a $25,000 bond, which is exactly what Trey 5 needed, since you only need to put up 10%.
The nigga lied to say he gonna get some money for my homie Bond, right? Like say we call him nigga, and we ask him for some money and shit, and he say he gonna give it to him, right? So we say our homie booked the shit, his bond 25,000, we got 18,000, we need 75 more hundred, right? So the nigga said, he said, oh yeah, that's all y'all need. I just spent that shit on shoes. Now we call him again like a week later. Damn, what's up with that money, gang? You know, we trying to get folks out.
Keef kept faking on him, and long story short, he didn't bond Trey 5 out. And some niggas from O Block was mad. Chief Keef just signed a $6 million deal, and they felt like they were entitled to $7K. So they decided to catch him and Glow Gang lacking on May 28th, 2013 at a Glow Gang x OTF x Mubu concert. And for y'all that don't know what Mubu is, don't stress it. Just know it's another Chicago set with rappers like King Louie and Mubu Crump. But they decided to catch Sosa lacking, so they hop on stage in the middle of a performance, and a fight breaks loose, which is someone caught on camera in terrible quality. But this fight ends with Chief Keef's homie, whose name is Ball Out, getting his chain snatched. Well, not really his chain. The chain that got snatched from Ball Out was the chain he stole from Soulja Boy. Damn, everything come full circle. But regardless of where Ball Out got this chain, him and Glow Gang still felt some type of way. People he thought was his homie just jumped and robbed him. So after the fight, a few niggas went backstage, and according to Mubu Crump, some niggas pressed Lil Durk because they thought he had something to do with it.
We all going to back. The nigga Ball Out checked the nigga Durk like, you bitch ass nigga, I heard you saying something about the chain. And then, next thing you know, Reese like, nigga, what that chain that on BD? Jump over there and choke him. Durk right there taking and choking like a Gino, you feel me? Taking that bitch like you would choke your bitch. He, come on, baby, don't choke him. So they choking the nigga, you feel me? One of the guys, y'all just like, oh, hold on, get on, look, BD folks, hold on, y'all tripping. Y'all choking little folks up, he about to die, you feel me? They grab him, the nigga like, so Durk looking stupid and shit. I'm like, man, he just got choked, but it's all good, bro, we gone, you feel me? Fuck that shit. So we leave. I'm looking at Durk, on really nigga Durk get the crying in the cops. I knew it right there and there, like, oh, this nigga a bitch. I gotta get away from this nigga.
Mubu and O Block later had a falling out. That's why Crump felt so comfortable speaking on that. RP Crump, but he's probably one of the dead niggas Durk dissed the most. But let's focus back on this. After that chain snatching and Lil Reese allegedly choking out Lil Durk, it was Mubu and OTF versus Chief Keef's Glow Gang. So Mubu niggas left the performance with OTF and Glow Gang stepped 2. But the beef wasn't that serious yet, and about a week later, Lil Durk got arrested on a gun charge and spent about a month trying to muster up enough money for bail. And shortly after he got out, a nigga in OTF was flexing that they paid to get him out, and Durk retweeted him calling Chief Keef a bitch because he don't bail out his own people. And Durk came out tweeting that him and Chief Keef beef could get very ugly, and that if it wasn't for 300, which is the set they both claim, that he would have killed Chief Keef. Damn. But Keef responded laughing, telling Durk that he got a squad full of killers, and talked to Lil Durk by flexing that he just spent 10K on the car, which is exactly what Durk needed for bond. At this point, he was divided. Sosa had GBE and a few niggas from O Block siding with him, but the majority were siding with Lil Durk, or were neutral. But after about 3 months of beefing, Lil Durk came out and said they squashed it.
Have y'all communicated since then? Have y'all?
Yeah, we had a little few words to beat on some, man. We cooling right now, so
yeah.
So I respected that. We respect each other. We got love for each other. So that being like two of the biggest artists in Chicago, they gonna want to see us beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna happen though.
Durk might be capping about squashing it, cause that Chief Keef O Block beef still went strong after this. And a little bit after Durk said this, some kids from the O came out explaining why they don't mess with Keef.
Don't be the folks, man. Folks over here, they don't be fucking with Keef. Keef don't put no bangers on the block, none of that. He be on the Instagram flex with all them bangers, don't put shit on the block.
Flex, I ain't know shit.
When Lil Durk and Chief Keef were beefing on Twitter, Durk said that Sosa don't put no work in for O-Block and that he been buying guns for them. Probably not something you want to see online, but using rap money to help fight off the ops is pretty common, especially if you're making music like Chief Keef, which is helping fuel the violence. You're dissing all these niggas' dead friends, but you're inaccessible to them. They want to smoke Chief Keef so bad, but they can't get close to him, so they gonna take this anger out somewhere else. Now, I'm not saying Chief Keef's music is the sole reason for this violence. These beefs go back decades, but his music is definitely somewhat instigating it. And according to Durk, he doesn't even try to help them niggas out. So at this point, you can tell a lot of their issues just stem from them not liking how he spends his money. But after this, only a month after Durk said him and Keef were cool, he hopped on Instagram and posted a track list for his latest mixtape. And he said his favorite song off of it was a song called OTF, Chief Keef Diss. Now this song never dropped, and Durk and Keef traded sneak disses back and forth for a while. Some more little events happened, like Durk going back and forth with a nigga from Glow Gang, and then going back and forth with another nigga from Glow Gang. But in May 2014, it looked like their relationship was getting better. I wouldn't say they was friends, but they was coexisting without constantly dissing each other. And Durk moved on to bigger and better beefs, like his beef with Tyga. But what resparked Durk's beef with Sosa was Sosa reposting the Game and Tyga's diss song, which was directed at Durk. Durk saw that and responded saying this.
What's up with you and Keef? Is there still tension between you and him?
It wasn't. It was, at first it was just Twitter, then it was just phone calls, everybody trying to get everybody back together. So when Tyga and Game song dropped it, he posted on his page. And I'm like, he ain't disrespect me only, he disrespect the whole Chicago like he ran with another city, so you ain't gotta deal with me at the end of the day, you gotta deal with everybody.
So, I mean, you gonna reach out to do anything, or you not?
I ain't reaching out to him. Okay. It's over with. Okay. He from LA.
But Sosa agreed with him. He said he's not from Chicago no more, he's from Chicago, which is a play off his Glow Gang. And he says he left after he made them niggas who they are today. Lil Reese stepped in trying to mediate, but after this, both sides were just being petty. Keef hopped on the song with Tyga, so Durk linked up with Chief Keef's #1 rap op, aka the Migos. Durk said the Migos could come through O-Block, and then started sneak dissing Sosa in tweets. And the Migos put up to Chicago, vlogging the whole thing. It was getting unchy. The Migos just came to Chief Keef City, and the only thing they got was a warm welcoming. So it was obvious O-Block was not messing with Keef at this time. They just let the Migos come through while they were dissing Sosa on every track. But fast forward a few weeks, Durk drops a diss track and throws some jabs at Sosa.
In my circle no square, so you don't fit, nigga. Drive day with my shooter, so who you pick, nigga? Some rappers from my way, they got their change now. Trying to pay my nigga top to get their change now.
Y'all remember I told you keep Boss Top name in mind because he's gonna be important later on? Yeah, well, Lil Durk just exposed that he took Chief Keef's chain. Damn, Boss Top and Keef was supposed to be homies. He was one of the only people from the O Sosa messed with like that. I still remember that Burberry shirt Keef gave him that he would wear no matter what.
Now, why every time we see you out here, you got this same Burberry
Sosa gave the shirt. I never take the shirt off with Billy.
Why you even gonna take the shirt off?
Billy Sosa gave the shirt. I never take the shirt off.
Hold up. If y'all made it this far in the video, do me a favor and drop a like. But focusing back on this, how Boss Top go from wearing Chief Keef's hand-me-downs to snatching his chain? Taking a rapper chain like taking a rapper pride, especially if your image is like the demon Chief Keef himself, a real Chirac savage. But a lot of y'all may be wondering how Almighty Sosa's chain fell into the hands of Boss Top. Well, nobody knows for a fact, but people think this chain snatching went down on March 27th, 2014. This was 3 months before Durk exposed it in that song. But people think it happened on this day because Sosa and Boss Top went back and forth on Twitter just hours after we got reports that Chief Keef was in a shootout at his manager's house. We got reports that Chief Keef's manager called the police because they're intruders, which Keef didn't appreciate and went on Twitter calling him a soft-ass nigga. But we later saw some leaked Chicago Police Department documents, which named Boss Top and a few other old blockings as suspects for this case, which the police classified as a home invasion / attempted murder. And we also got reports that someone was shot and brought to the ICU. So maybe that's what Old Block Ultra was talking about in this interview.
Something supposed to happen, motherfuckers went head to head and shit like that, and I think one of our guys had got shot, you feel me? With some shit. I don't really know what really happened, but it was an altercation and some shit happened. I guess it was Glow Gang versus the Block, and then, you know, you shot one of the guys, you feel me? So, like, you know, and one of the guys could have lost their life.
He definitely know what happened, he just don't want to say. And he didn't elaborate much on that situation. So this Boss Top Chief Keef incident could be what he's talking about. And the day after this incident went down, Chief Keef tweeted RP Boss Top before deleting it, which some people interpreted as, you're dead to me, like I'm not messing with you no more. And some other people thought that when Chief Keef shot at the intruders, he might have thought he hit Boss Top and was trying to throw a little jab. But that's all speculation. We never really gonna know for sure because no one involved is gonna speak on it. And because the police in Chicago got better things to worry about. But I think Boss Top took this chain this day and held onto it for months before Durk let the world know he had it. That's not proven or anything, but it makes the most sense to me. And in that same police report, the police claim that Boss Top and his crew stole a car belonging to Keith Kozar, aka Chief Keef. And Chief Keef later added that Boss Top stole a bunch of designer and expensive stuff, then went in his daughter's room and stole her clothes and some detergent and deodorant.
What?
But Boss Top responded posting a pic with a gun saying, FGBE, slide on me, see what's up, and told Sosa come back to O Block. Then he hopped on Twitter taunting Chief Keef, and he later dropped a music video flexing Chief Keef's stolen chain and linked up with the Migos while wearing it. But after this incident, fans renamed him Broke Top and the Diaper Bandit. This situation slowed down his rap career like crazy, but the funniest part of all of this is that the chain Boss Top took later got snatched by Black Migo Dex, aka FBG Dex, aka Mr.
Dexter. Baby girl, what you doing? Where your man?
Yes, this chain got snatched by Famous Dex himself. A lot of niggas don't know my man Famous Dex is a retired Chirac Savage. Before he was making his songs, he was in the streets snatching chains from old Blockians and messing with FBG. But that's a topic for another video. Let's focus back on this. Boss Top and Lil Durk were taunting Chief Sosa, and Lil Durk posted up with another GBE member chain, GBE Capo. Damn, OTF snatched these niggas chains left and right. But we really didn't get any information on how this chain fell into the hands of Durkio. Only person who tweeted about it was King Von, who said some nigga named OJ took GBE Capo chain, and that he was trying to get in on the chain snatching action. But Von also added that even though what Sosa did wasn't right, he would never talk bad about him. Respect. But Chief Keef responded to Boss Top and Lil Durk by saying this.
Would say fuck OD, but that's my boy. You feel me? I'm from there.
For y'all that don't know who OD is, that's who O Block is named after. When you go in, it's not like it's a big sign that says O Block. It's actually called Parkway Gardens. But they have a history of renaming their block when a respected member gets killed. And niggas took Sosa saying that about OD as disrespect. Lil Reese, who stayed relatively neutral on all of this, even came out checking him. And some no-name Chirac Savages came out telling him this.
We catch Sosa and ball out, we rob y'all bitch ass. Y'all better not come back.
You can't tell them.
Fuck y'all talking about.
They ain't got no.
Rob them bitch ass niggas.
I want they chain. Y'all ain't from here no more. Go to LA.
But for the months after this, we got sneak disses from Keef's side and from Lil Durk / OTF side. Then in August 2014, they finally talked it out and it looked like they was cool. We got a tweet from Lil Durk saying OTF and GB back together, and we had them tweeting back and forth in some Chirac Savage dialect. And Durk later did an interview where he explained how they squashed it.
It was just a lot of BS going on before, like a lot of threats. So we was like, all right, man, we gotta FaceTime this one. You know what I'm saying, but we squashed it. Wasn't nothing though.
So what was that conversation like? What did y'all say? In 3 hours? That's a long time to talk. 3 hours.
I was saying we just squashed it. You know what I'm saying we from the same hood, so we was talking about different things too, but that's bro, so it's on.
After the beef was over, Durk and Keef hopped on a song called Decline, and Boss Top looked like he was trying to get back in with Sosa, but Sosa really never forgave him for the robbery, and Glogan would occasionally send shots at Boss Top. But other than those few incidents, it looked like everything was good. And we even saw OTF turning up to Chief Keef's songs, and we eventually got to see Durk and Keef back in the studio together. They made a whole Glow TF project that was supposed to bang came out, but never officially got released. But a lot more minor things happened, so we honestly don't know where Sosa stand with O Block today. We know he's at least cordial with the rappers there, but he also hasn't gone back for a reason. But the block doesn't also necessarily feel the same way as the rappers. Some niggas from there even came out saying, if you think Sosa raw, you need to get slapped. And some other old blockians was in his comments laughing and agreeing. And some others went back and forth with Sosa when he said he wanted to buy O Block. A nigga responded saying, you wish you could even come back here. And we know Durk and Keef can't be that cool, because the day after 6ix9ine said someone to shoot at Chief Keef, Lil Durk hopped on IG Live with him.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, take care of that baby girl, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations to you and your girl, blood.
You know what time it is, love, gang.
Love, blood.
But then again, we also saw Durk and Keef teaming up on Twitter to diss FPG Duck. And we saw King Von and Chief Keef in the studio a few months ago. So they might be cool, but he also didn't say RP Von or anything. So we don't really know how he feels about them. But at the end of the day, I seriously doubt Chief Keef is going back. He don't gotta prove anything by going back. It's just gonna put him in unnecessary danger. But make sure y'all run this video up to let me know if y'all want part 2 on how Chief Keef became a fugitive in Chicago. Drop a like and follow my Instagram if you want it. The link's in the description. But that's it for this video. I'm Most Feuds and I'm out.